guys. Okay, so I still can't believe that I'm actually making one of these videos. I remember watching some of these videos when I first started coaching, and I was like, I could never imagine myself in this position. So I'm Natasha, and I've been a coach for just over a year, about a year and a half. I started in January of 2016. Before coaching, I was a brand new mom. So I had a really, really hard pregnancy. Even before pregnancy, my husband and I struggled a lot with fertility issues. I had to be on hormones to get pregnant, and then I had to stay on hormones the entire pregnancy because I was at risk of preterm labor. So the weight packed on for me. But if I'm being honest, I've always struggled with weight. It's always been something that I've struggled with: body image, negative body image, everything. And as long as I can remember, I have been on a diet. I've been on a diet since I was like 12 years old. And so I have tried literally everything out there. And for me, because of all the issues with fertility and because of all the issues with pregnancy, the weight really packed on. I had a lot of complications with pregnancy. I ended up gaining over 90 pounds with my pregnancy, which is a lot. I mean, I wasn't a small woman going into the pregnancy, but by the time my pregnancy was over, I was over 300 pounds. I was 325. So that's a substantial amount of weight. Now, with the complications I had, I could not exercise at all during pregnancy, and it was stressful. And for me, I have a lot of deep-rooted issues with emotional eating and a negative relationship with food in general. And so when I was going through all that stress and all those difficult times, I turned to food for comfort. And that's part of where my journey ended, well, really began. So fast forward to July 2016, and my daughter was born, and I had lots of complications. And I could not exercise. I wasn't cleared for exercise until 12 weeks postpartum. I had an emergency C-section, ended up getting super infected, and I was in and out of the hospital for the first 9 weeks of her life. So it was hard. I mean, any new mom will tell you, like, that newborn phase is really, really hard, but then you add all these complications on top of it. And it just makes it even harder. So that was where I was at before I started coaching. And before going on maternity leave, I was and am a full-time medical speech language pathologist. I was literally a school lifer. I was in school for 8 years. And that meant when I graduated, I had a lot of school. I still have a lot of school debt. And at times it kind of felt crippling, right? So that's where I was at. And so I'm on social media. Nora was 12 weeks when I decided to jump in. And I didn't jump into coaching right away. I actually just stalked my coach for a while, and I was super skeptical. I was that person being like, there's no way she could do this. There's no way this is going to work for her long term, but I kept watching. And then one day I just said, I'm done. Like, I'm done feeling this way. And, I decided to jump into my fitness journey during a really, really dark time. In addition to all of the complications I was dealing with, I was also struggling with postpartum depression. And I remember holding my daughter and looking at her and not feeling anything and just doing everything because I knew I had to, but not because I actually felt any connection with her. I would joke with my husband and say, I'm waiting for her real parents to come and pick her up. Like, that's where I was at mentally. And so I looked at her one day and I said, it has to stop. I have to get control over my life again, and I have to do this for her. She did not ask to be born into a family with a mother who can't even take a picture because she self-criticizes and self-sabotages herself, or is so obsessed with her body image that she, doesn't like to go out for social events because it's the anxiety about being in public and having to dress up and those things. It's just too much. She didn't ask for any of that. So at that point, I decided I had to fight. I had to fight for me, and I had to fight for her, and I had to stop. I had to stop this cycle from continuing. So I reached out to my coach and I said, I don't know what you're doing, but I want in. And so that was in October 2016. And I have not looked back since then. I decided to jump into coaching in January of 2017, sorry, not 2016. I jumped into coaching January 2017, and I haven't looked back, really. When I first started coaching, I was over 300 pounds. I had a little bit of success with my own fitness journey since starting with my coach. I had lost about 30 pounds or so. So I was overweight still. I barely was on social media. The only time I was on social media was with my daughter to put pictures of her. I had zero self-confidence. I literally hated myself and my body and the way I looked. I hated all of it. So I was not a fitness expert at all. I felt like my nutrition was pretty good, but I wasn't like a nutritionist or a dietitian in any way. And I was terrified. I was terrified of what people would think of me. I thought that people would think, oh my God, like, who is she to say what I should and shouldn't be doing? Like, look at her. She's not at her goal weight. Those were all the things going through my head. But I decided, you know what? I have to do something, because at this point I was looking in the future and I knew I was going back to work soon. And I said, I know myself. I will, if I don't make this a priority, if I don't make my journey a priority, then I'm going to slip back into old habits, and I can't. Like, I could not let that happen again. So coaching is really the ultimate accountability for that, because now it wasn't just about my goals, but I had other people who were relying on me, and having me show up every day was important because I had to show up for them. So that's why it became that extra accountability for me. So I jumped into coaching. I had no idea what I was doing. I was terrified. I was skeptical, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to trust the process, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to give it, 6 months. And if at the end of 6 months, if I really hate it, then whatever, at least I tried. But I am here now. It's been over a year, and I love it. I love it so much. So I often get asked, well, like, you started coaching, you were on mat leave. Like, how did you find the time? How do you find the time now? Because I'm back to working full time now, and I'm coaching part-time. But how I do it, how I did it when I first started, was I have pockets of time, and I call them power pockets. And I do the vital behaviors, that's what we do, the things that move your business forward, in those pockets of time during the day. And so some people, because they have an income goal to work this business full time, they eventually are able to add like an 8-hour workday into coaching. But for me, I started doing this part-time. I'm still doing this part-time, and that's okay, because that's what works with my schedule. So over that year, I was working on myself, and I was doing the daily vital behaviors to build my business forward. But like I said, I was doing so in pockets of time. I wasn't going like 4 hours a day every day, but my business grew, guys. Like, if we fast forward to today, so we are now May 2018, and I looked at my income for this month, and I earned $1,500 just in May. And when I first started coaching, my goal was to earn an extra $200 or $300 that I could use to throw on debt or to pay for the extras, like the fun money. I had no idea that this could be where I'm at today. And obviously you have to put the work in, right? Like, you're not just going to be given $1,500. You do have to put the work in, and you have to show up every day and be accountable to yourself and be accountable to your clients and your challengers. But I do that part-time. And this has been huge for us and our family. Not only the emotional and the mental side of coaching and the community and the friendships that you build, but the fact that I can provide an extra $1,500 a month to help with our debt, the crippling debt that I basically brought into our family because of my school debt, like, that is substantial. That is changing our family's life. So my long-term goal has changed. Like I said, like, when I first started coaching, I wanted to earn, $200 to $300 a month to kind of help with the fun extras and throw some money on debt. But now, like, I see this potential, and I'm lucky in that I get to have two passions in life. I love my profession. I love my career as a speech language pathologist. It like fuels my soul. But so does coaching. And I feel so blessed to be able to be a part of something and have two things that fuel me to just strive for the best person, the best version of me that I can be. And they let me tackle two very different sides of myself, which I'm so grateful for. So my next goal is to work part-time as a medical speech language pathologist, part-time as a coach. So like working 3 days a week as an SLP and then devoting 2 full days a week to coaching. That is my ideal. That's my next step. And that is what I'm going to be searching and striving for. So you might be wondering, what my transformation has been like since I've told you guys that I've been in this, I've been coaching for over a year now, but my fitness journey started in October 2016. I have lost 115 pounds and over 80 inches. When I think about that, the impact that has had on my body, on my organs, on the mental side of the transformation, it's huge. It's huge. And I would not be here today. I really 100% believe that I would not have achieved that transformation without coaching. Because coaching is about so much more than just exercising and eating well. Like 90% of coaching is also all of that personal development and all that personal growth that you put into yourself to become that best version of you. And I'm here to tell you that transformation, you might lose a lot of weight. You might change yourself physically. But if you're not working on the mental side of things, that emotional side of things, old habits will creep back. And it's not going to make you feel differently about yourself. That takes extra work. That takes that personal development. And luckily, as coaches, that is a fundamental to what we do. If you're not working on you, your business is not going to grow the way that you want it to. First, you got to work with that mental transformation, and then everything else will follow. What I love most about coaching, and there's a lot that I love about coaching, but what I love most is that not only has it allowed me to have this amazing transformation for myself, but my husband has had an amazing transformation himself. And for him, he has lost over 50 pounds. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's not just me that it's impacting, it's impacting my entire family. But what's even more than that is that coaching gives me a platform to help other people and to reach other people who are just as stuck and are just as in need of a cheerleader like I was when I first started. And that is amazing that you get to be a part of that. We get to be part of that and be a part of someone's journey. Like, that is just, it gives me so much joy in life. So you're probably wondering, what is it that we actually do as coaches? So basically what we do is we partner with a company called Beachbody. And so you've probably heard of them. They do programs like P90X, Insanity, 21 Day Fix, but their workout programs are created by super trainers, and they have an accompanying nutrition plan that follows those programs that have been created by nutritionists and dietitians. So what we do is we connect with people. We learn about their struggles. We learn about their goals. We learn about the things that are holding them back, and we help them by pairing them with a program that's going to be the best fit for them. But the great thing is that we don't just stop there. We don't just say, okay, well, here is your program. Here's what you should be using. See you later. We actually work with them, and we offer them a group, a community with 24-hour support. So it's one big private community. We share our workouts, we share what we're eating, we share our meal plans, but we also share about all of the hard things that are going through in our lives, or holding us back from something. And we're there. We show up every day, and we cheerlead each other, and we support each other, and we really build this community that feels more like family than just people who know each other. You're probably listening to me being like, okay, lady, you sound insane. But honestly, until you experience it, it's magical. It's magical. And to be a part of something like that really, it fuels me. It fuels my soul and sets me on fire. And that is a privilege to be a part of. The biggest thing to remember is that we aren't expected to be personal trainers. We aren't expected to be nutritionists. what we're expected to do is be cheerleaders and be the support and build this online community for people to just be themselves and bare their souls and bear what's difficult and share in their victories and be the people who are like, girl, you showed up today. You may not have worked your butt off, but you showed up, you pressed play, and you're in here. So yay you. So how do we do that? Well, basically, social media. Like, social media is a powerful, powerful tool. And that's how we connect with people. That's how we build conversations and build friendships and build connections with people. And how we do that is we just share. We share about our journey. We post, we show up every day and share what we're doing, share what we're eating, share what our struggles are, what our victories are, and we invite people to do it with us. And that's where the magic happens, is that connection piece. I feel like a lot of the time social media becomes this mindless scroll, and we forget about the fundamentals about connecting with people and the reason why social media started in the first place. And coaching is just that, is connecting with people the same way that you and I connected, and just building that relationship and helping them with the things that are helping you. Like I mentioned, you aren't expected to be a personal trainer. You aren't expected to be a nutritionist, and you aren't expected to know anything. Like, when I first started coaching, I had no idea what I was doing. But luckily, you're coming onto a team, hopefully, that's amazing. And we have the most amazing training that it'll teach you everything that you need to know. It's self-paced, it's self-guided. You do it on your own time, but you are not in this alone. Like, besides our community that we build for our clients, our fitness communities are amazing, but our team community is nothing like I've ever experienced before. You know, when I first started coaching, I expected it to be this catty, competition-filled group, and it's like the complete opposite of that. Our team is like our family, and there's a lot of people that I've never met yet that I'm meeting for the first time next month, but we talk every day, and we support each other every day, and we're there to show up and be that rock for people when they're having a hard time. It is about so much more than your business. You are joining a community of people who are supportive, uplifting, positive. It is like, it's mind-blowing, and it's something that I never expected from coaching, but it's been a blessing for me.